Okay, guys, we are on week 3 of e-learning. We're going to finish up our systems of equations unit today. We are on packet number 4. Okay, if you don't have that, you can do this in your notebook. And we are on page 85. Okay, so let's write that, page 85. Okay, and today we're talking about special cases of systems of equations. So a system of equation may have one solution. That's what we've been doing up until this point. They may have no solutions, or they may have an infinite number, okay, of solutions, meaning many, or a ton of solutions, okay? Let's go ahead and do example 1, okay? We have two equations here. I put my fancy bracket. The first one is y equals 3x plus 7. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and graph that. It's in slope-intercept, so I can see that my slope is 3, and my y-intercept is going to be 7. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remember y-intercept same as 0, 7. So I'm going to go ahead and graph that. Okay, I'm going to go up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm here. And I'm going to do up 3 over 1. Oh, and I'm running out of space, so I'm going to do the opposite. Down 3 to the left 1. Down 3 to the left 1. I'm going to go ahead and connect those dots. I don't have a ruler in front of me, so I'm going to use my son's old Pokemon card. You can use your ID or whatever you have in front of you. Okay, let's go ahead and finish that out. Okay, and we have the equation y equals 3x plus 7. Okay, there's my first one. Now I'm going to graph my second equation, and that is y equals negative x plus 2. I've got a slope of negative 1. I have a y-intercept of, looks like 2, same as 0, 2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and graph that. Let's see what we got here. I've got 0, 2. So we're going to go up to here. Okay, and then I have a slope of negative 1. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1, or I can go up to the left, up to the left. Okay, you can see that there. That didn't quite, a little off, but that's okay. There we've got y equals negative x plus 2. Okay, and the point to all this is that I want you to see that the two equations, we have one solution, right? We have one solution. So the point I want you to take away from this is that the two equations have different slopes. Okay, we saw that. One had negative 1, one had 3. And that was m equals 3 and m equals negative 1, and had different y-intercepts, okay, which is b equals, what was that, 7, and b equals 2, okay? So different slopes, this is important. Different y-intercepts means one solution, okay? Okay, so different slopes, different y-intercepts, they're going to intersect in one point, and we're going to have one solution, okay? Let's flip to page 86, okay? Okay, we are on 86. Example 2, 2x plus 3y equals 12, and 8x plus 12y equals 48. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to graph these. I get 2x plus 3y equals 12, okay? I am in standard form, right? Standard form. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 0 in for x. I'm going to get my y-intercept. So 0 in for x. And I get y equals 4. So I have 0, 4. There's my y-intercept. Okay. I'll get my x-intercept, which I'm putting in, let's see, x-intercept. I put 0 in for y. I get x equals 6. So 6, 0. And we can graph that. And we have 0, 4. And we have 6, 0. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect my lines. Okay. Next, let's get a different color pen here. I think I'm going to use green this time. I've got 8x plus 12y equals 48. Okay, now it does not matter what form you put this in. You could do it either way. You could do it as standard form. I'm just going to do that. So my y-intercept is going to be, let's see, 8 times 0 plus 12y equals 48. I've got y equals 4. Oh, look at that. I have the same y-intercept, okay? Then I do my x-intercept, and I've got 8x plus 12 times 0 equals 48. X equals 6. Look at that. I have the exact same line. Those are the exact same equation. Look at what happens if I divide by 4. Or, I get 2x plus 3y equals 12. They are the same equation. So, the same line. Okay? So, my takeaway from this is that the two equations have the same slopes. M equals, let's find what the slope is. I didn't do that yet. Let's just take one of them. 2x plus 3y equals 12. Subtract 2x. I get 3y equals negative 2x plus 12. Divide by 3. I get y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. So my slope is negative 2/3. Okay. And my y-intercept is 4. Okay. So I know that if have the same slopes and, let's write, I'm confused here, and write the same y-intercepts, we said b equals 4, okay? You can see that they have an infinite number of solutions, okay? So again, let's just look at that. We have the same line. It was the exact same line. So there are two lines on top of each other, which means that we have an infinite number of solutions. Everything is a solution because the two lines are on top of each other. So that's going to be when we have the same slope and the same y-intercept. Okay? Let's flip to page 85. Or, sorry, I lied. Let's flip to page 87. Okay, here we have y equals 3x plus 5 and y equals 3x plus 7. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to divvy these up. And we have y equals 3x plus 7. Okay, well, this is easy to graph. I have a slope of 3 and a y-intercept of 5. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to graph that. I've got a y-intercept of 5 and a slope of 3. So I'm up 3 over 1. And I can go down 3 to the left 1. Down 3 to the left 1. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to connect those points. See if I can do this with my Pokemon card. Okay. There's my first equation. 3x plus 5. Okay, my second one. I have the exact same slope. Okay. And here my y-intercept is 7. So I'm going to go up to 7. And I'm going to have a slope of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. And you can see that these two lines are never going to intersect, okay? Never intersect, okay? Because they are parallel, okay? So the takeaway from that is that the two equations have the same slopes, okay? M equals 3. And they have different y-intercepts, okay? One was 5 and one was 7, okay? Which means no solution, okay? No solution. That's what that means, okay? So our takeaway, sometimes you may be able to inspect, or means look at, or examine, or look at the equation to determine the number of solutions. Sometimes you have to do some math to determine the number of solutions and what they are. if you're solving algebraically, okay, if you're using elimination or you're using substitution, so elimination or substitution, okay, and you get something that like 2 equals 2 or 0 equals 0 or 15 equals 15, that means there's an infinite number of solutions, okay? If both sides, you're going to get an infinite number of solutions, okay? If you get something like this, 4 does not equal 12, or you get a 0 equals 6 on each side, that means that there's no solution, okay? And that's the takeaway from that. Let's see. Let's go to page, let's just do one real quick. Let's go to page 89, okay? And let's just look at one real quick, okay? We have y equals negative x plus 3 and y equals negative x plus 5. I'm on page 89, okay? We can see that we have a slope for both of them. This one, let's call this equation 1, and let's call this equation 2. Okay, for equation 1, my slope is negative 1. For equation 2, my slope is negative 1. Okay, my y-intercept for this one is b equals 3. And for this one, my y-intercept is b equals 5. Okay, so we have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. Intercepts. Okay, and if you think back, that means that they're going to be parallel lines. Okay, and you're going to have no solution. Okay, no solution. If we look at a sketch of what that's going to look like, okay, it's going to look something like, let's see. You're going to have a line that looks like that. You're going to have a line that looks like that. Okay, so those are going to be parallel. That doesn't look very parallel, but they are. And you're going to have no solution. Okay, if we skip over to number 3, okay, we have 2 equations here. I'm going to put one into slope-intercept. We'll call this one 1. Okay, x equals 2y plus 10. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. I get 2y equals x minus 10. Divide by 2. I get y equals 1/2 x minus 5. Okay, there's my first one. And if I do my second equation, I get 2x plus 3y equals negative 1. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. I get 3y equals negative 2x minus 1. Divide by 3. I get y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1/3. Okay? There I have different slopes. One is 1/2. Okay, so I have different slopes. M equals 1/2 and m equals negative 2/3. I have different y-intercepts. I have b equals negative 5, and I have b equals, what is that, negative 1/3. So here, we're going to have one solution. Why? Because different y-intercepts and different slopes. Okay? And I think that is enough for today, okay? If you want, you don't have to, but you can go back to, if I can find it here, let me find my page. If you would like to go back to, I think it's page, 88, okay? If we're on page 88, and maybe it'd be a good idea, and maybe we'll go over this on the next video. If you want to fill this out, what each of these things mean, that might be a good idea, okay? And that is all for today.